Hello, Serendipitous here with another video for the board game shelf, and here I'm talking about Sushi Roll. So if this art looks familiar, that's because it's made by the same people who made Sushi Go and Sushi Go Party. So as shown in previous videos, we of course have Sushi Go. We have a banged up version, but it's still very much functional. It has all the cards in it and everything. And of course, my wife and I prefer to play Sushi Go Party because of the variety, and it's just a lot more fun with more people. And then we've had our eye on Sushi Roll for a little bit. It's essentially, it takes Sushi Go and Sushi Go Party and all that and makes it into a dice game, essentially. I was able to learn the rules very quickly in like a few minutes, essentially. So this is another case of the board game box probably doesn't need to be as big as it is, but there you go. Anyway, so what we got here, we have a bag of dice, we have a couple of boards, and we have a bunch of tokens. And I'll briefly explain how this goes. I think it's pretty straightforward. Again, I haven't played this yet, but I know how to play it now. It's again, like if you're familiar with Sushi Go or Sushi Go Party, you should be able to pick this up pretty easily. So let me grab all these things. These are point tokens. So normally in Sushi Go Party, there's a board where you kind of keep track, where you go around the board, keep track of your points. But here you just take these tokens, 1s, 5s, and 10s, and 20s, to keep track of how many points you have over the rounds. Then we have these pudding tokens, and we have chopsticks tokens and menu tokens. All right. So essentially, how this works is every player is going to get a tray, right? Like a sushi restaurant tray. The tray part is this red rectangle up here, and the rest of this is meant to be reference, essentially. So, oh boy, yeah, I don't have a lot of room here. And then you have these conveyor belts. That's what these are. Every player is going to get one of these. The one with the red outlined one basically means that player is going first. That's all it is. But yeah, so every player gets a conveyor belt and a tray. And then the rules specify how many dice everyone gets. Everyone gets a random amount of dice here. So let's say there's like 2 players. I think in a 2-player game, each player gets 8 dice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, let me, just for demonstration purposes, switch out one of these. There we go. To show all the different versions. Okay, so at the start of so this game is played over 3 rounds. At the start of a round, you take your dice and you roll them, and you place the dice on your conveyor belt. All right, these are the things that you have to pick from, right? Just like in normal Sushi Go or Sushi Go Party, you take one and pass it down. So let's say, for example, I wanted to take this. I put it in my tray, and then I pass my conveyor belt onto the next player. And we keep going, and they keep going like that, and you only roll once. You don't except for something, but basically what you see on your conveyor belt is essentially what you get. So let's say I got this from the player to my right, and now I have to choose another one. Let's say I choose this one, and then I pass this down. And you keep going until you run out of dice, right? Before you choose something, though, you can use one of these. Every player gets a few of these tokens here. You can before choosing a dice and passing it down, you can use one of these tokens. So menu tokens mean that you can take as many dice in the conveyor belt as you want and re-roll them. And then chopsticks means that you can take any one of your dice and swap it with someone else. Any one of your dice on your conveyor belt and swap it with someone else's on their conveyor belt. Not tray to tray, but conveyor belt to conveyor belt. And of course you keep the same dice face up, essentially. So chopsticks swaps, and menu lets you re-roll. And so you keep going. I'm just going to sort of assume that I got all of these things, right? And that's the end of the round. And so then you tally up all of your points for that round and take point tokens to keep track of how many points you got that round. And you do that again for round 2 and then round 3, right? So how do these dice work? There's 4 different types of dice here. There's the nigiri, and you can see all the dice faces here, right? So we have nigiri, where you have the 1 point, the 2 points, and 3 points nigiri. So, for example, if I ended a round with these two, then that would be 1 point plus 3 points. This is 4 points total. However, so the green dice are special, the kind of like the special dice. So, of course, you have your wasabi. If you have a wasabi, then the next nigiri that you take, you put it on top of the wasabi dice to signify you're multiplying that by 3. So if you put this pink, like I keep forgetting it's like, I know there's like egg, squid, and salmon, or what, I can't remember the types, but the values are there. If I take this 3-point nigiri and put it on top of wasabi, that's 9 points. Or this one on top of wasabi would be 3 points, right? And you can only use wasabi once, and it's for the next, like your next nigiri and stuff. Also on the special dice, there's menu icons and chopsticks icons. That means when you claim that, you can take the number of tokens that the dice face shows. So you have 2 menu icons. I mean, you can take 2 menu tokens to use later in the round. Chopsticks, there's 1 chopsticks token or 2 chopsticks token, or yeah. So there's that. That's the special dice, and that's the nigiri dice there. And then, let's see here, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's 5 types of dice. Sorry, my mistake. Let's go to the maki roll dice. So so every single face of this dice has 1, 2, or 3 maki rolls on them. At the end of the round, the person who has the most number of maki roll symbols gets 6 points, and the second most person gets 3 points. So, for example, if I had this, I would have 3, and so someone would need to have 4 or more to win the 6 points. If you tie, then both players get the full points. So that's maki roll there. And then this blue one, this is I believe called the appetizer dice. So there's dumplings, tempura, and sashimi. Okay, so you want to have 1, 2, or a group of 1, 2, or 3 of these essentially. Let me try to grab some more of these appetizer dice here, and you can see the point values on this tray. So for dumplings, if you have 1 dumpling, it's 2 points. If you have a group of 2 dumplings, it's 4 points, and a group of 3 dumplings is 8 points. For tempura, we have 1 tempura is 1, 2 tempura is 5, and 3 tempura is 10. And then for sashimi, 1 sashimi is 0 points, 2 sashimi is 6 points, and 3 sashimi is 13 points. And you can see how dumplings, there's 3 dumplings on a dice, 2 tempura and 1 sashimi. So you can see how they're more valuable. Right? And then finally, we have the pudding dice, the dessert. Just like the maki roll, it basically just has 1, 2, or 3 symbols on them. But as soon as you claim this on your tray, you take a number of you take tokens to signify how many of these you got. So if I got this, I would take one of these tokens that has 3 puddings on it and put it next to my tray. Kind of like point tokens almost, but at the end of the round, you're comparing how many pudding tokens you have compared to everybody else. And so the person with the most gets 6 points, and the person with the least gets minus 6 points. So you definitely do not want to be left behind in dessert, basically. That's pretty much how you play Sushi Roll. And like I said, very straightforward, and I do love the idea of the conveyor belt being portrayed actually like in the game itself. Of course, you kind of have the conveyor belt idea in Sushi Go and Sushi Go Party by passing the cards around. But yeah, this of course does have less variety of Sushi Go things, right? I love the variety of Sushi Go Party. Of course, you can have all kinds of there's probably like hundreds of combinations in there. Sushi Go is the normal game is just kind of like very straightforward. It probably just has just like stuff like this. And so if you take the original Sushi Go and make it into a dice game, you have this. So I look forward to playing it next time I bring this to like a game night or something with friends and neighbors. But yeah, we're happy to have the whole trio now. I am aware that there is a version of base Sushi Go that's like a 10th anniversary edition, and it looks like a bento box or something. We're not looking. We're not like, we don't have our eyes on that really. Like we're very satisfied with what we have. We also, we hardly play Sushi Go. If we play Sushi Go, we play Sushi Go Party. So there's that. But yeah, and then of course at the end of 3 rounds, you count up all your scores, and whoever has the highest score after 3 rounds wins. So yeah, so we've got the whole, sorry, there we go. So we've got the whole trio here. We have Sushi Roll, we have Sushi Go Party, and the main reason we've kept Sushi Go is for travel, right? Sushi Go Party, this is kind of unwieldy to bring around, but Sushi Go is good for like on the go, essentially. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, all the best.